This is Dartmoor, the only place in England you can legally wild camp. And I'm going to camp here for 2 days in the pouring rain and a cold wind. Tomorrow I go up to 40 miles an hour gusting. This is a bad idea, I know. I want to show you a few sights along the way. Seriously, tomorrow it's got yellow alert and rain, but this is definitely going to test the Naturehike Cloud Up, whether it can last in wind. Oh, and I have some river crossings as well. They're actually fords. I'm not just randomly crossing a stream. Let's see a stone circle. As soon as I got off the bus, someone offered me a lift. It was very nice of them. Dartmoor is the only legal wild camping area in England. There are places in Scotland. Scotland's obviously got the right to camp anywhere. In England, all we have is some of, not even all of, Dartmoor. And this has been a real legal fight to keep this, which I've been tracking. In 2023, a guy did a court injunction to stop people camping on his land in Dartmoor, which then meant you couldn't camp in any of Dartmoor for 6 months. Then there was an appeal, and it was overturned. Then he appealed, and he lost that appeal. It's a few months ago, actually. Oh wow! I don't think you can camp here, but I don't think anyone would care. Aha! And here we have the first of the fords. Oh no, how can I cross this? Because you've seen the videos. People who live in the Peak District go camp on a tour. You know, I want to do that as well, but given the winds that are going to come in about 3-4 in the morning, 40-mile winds, might not. It depends. If I can find somewhere behind a tor, I might risk it, but how about one of these? Let's see how slippy they are. Because yeah, the rock's quite slippy. And so is the wood. Yeah. I meant to book this earlier in August. The whole thing with Paul and the John's first anniversary hit at the same time. I should have booked it directly afterwards. I just didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like doing anything. I didn't feel like planning anything. And it turns out not only the deluge, but there's live firing in some of the ranges. I'm going to be near a Campton that has no firing, so I think we'll be alright. Reminds me of the Peak District, the stone and iron gates. We've got stone circles, well, you'll see that in a minute. We've got sleepy villages. Maybe the locals get turned to stone. Little Drogo, that's near here as well. Not creepy at all. They still have working stocks. I wonder if they ever use them. In fact, I want to find out. Told you about the rangers. The firing is going to happen to those two, but we're up here. I think we're in Dartmoor proper. Scenery. That's some fine scenery. Apart from those clouds. No idea those clouds in the wind. Everything else is great. I think is the 9 Maidens. The first of many stone circles. Very grumpy, very moody. It's great to be here, but I wanted to get here earlier. My first tour. My first tour of a tour. Scenery. There. Plenty of gale. I'll have a look around. I might take my pack off. Hello sheeps. Curious sheeps. Finally made it to Dartmoor. Wow. Yeah, we're losing the light, so I don't really want me clambering around here too much in the dark. Now you have the tour. This is why we brought the trekking poles, even though my tent doesn't need them. The sheeps are not happy. They might be trying to eat my rucksack though. Difficulty finding a place that's flattish. But I think it might be better. I was going to go down there behind a hillock or something, but I think it's probably better to hide behind, even with the high winds, hide behind this rock face. That's a bad idea, losing your rucksack. If it's going dark and I haven't got my torch. Oh, here it is. Phew, seriously. Yeah, it's a little flat over here. Maybe I think that way. You can see the lights. Hello. That's into Dartmoor. Notice nothing. There might hear some banging, I suppose. It's not as wild as I hoped to be, but it's still pretty wild up here. I need a brush. I need a brush for all the sheep crap. Memories of Scotland playing sheep crap golf. This is so much better. And also, if anyone can see me, so what? It's legal. Tent is up. Seems to be coping well with the wind so far. Yeah, I'm putting all of the guys in hard today. Just for that fast wind, that wind. And hopefully we won't get most of the brunt of this because we're at the other side of the hill. Some famous last words, maybe. And the guys are creating a little Aeolian wind harp thing. It's a bit worrying. I've never heard that before, but I never had this tent in a sort of more exposed location, so wish me luck. I did not bring the alcohol stove because I knew it was going to be windy. We're going to be using the camping moon stove with a petrol pot, so that should hopefully give it enough wind resistance, hopefully. Yeah, I'm not totally happy with the freshening conditions. It's getting windy up here. Maybe this is a bad idea, I don't know. Oh wow. Something to say about the speed though. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, it's starting to freshen a bit, and all hell is going to break loose between 1 and 4. I'm hoping that I'm asleep and it's fine and it's not a problem. Yeah, I've got the brandy in here and I'm just like, whatever. I just love the luxury of having this light on and not having to stress out about people seeing it. I might pop out and see what it looks like on the outside. The rain's coming. It's too cold. I know, it's such a cliche. But yeah, there's no lights. This is not the kind of camping I usually do. What I'm worried about is the wind veer. If that wind veers in the night, I'm in trouble. Tor End, I think it's called. I'm on Tor End at the moment. I thought it was higher Tor, but that's a bit further on. And you walk down that sort of ridge of Tors, it goes to a ford across the River Taw, and I don't know how affordable it is. Affordable! See how affordable it is. Yeah. Yeah, pasta with chorizo, but pepperoni chorizos. I won't say they're really nice, but they're very shelf stable. As you can hear after 11, yeah, the rain has really kicked in. I kind of broke my tent. I tightened everything down, but I forgot the door was open. The zip started to come away at the top, and so I managed to sort of close it back up again and then re-zip it. But it was like, oh crap. Ooh, it's a bit breezy out there. When it's to get back in here, I'm like, ooh, it's really warm in here. Because yeah, it's not nice out there. We shall see what happens during the night. I don't know if it's a calm before the storm, but it's just after midnight and the wind's all dropped. Very quiet. 3 o'clock I'm actually holding it well. I facing to. I mean, this is kind of battering me a bit on the side, so I'm trying to move over a bit, but some of those are a bit alarming. It really slams. Whoa. Yeah, not a fan of those. Not for that, well, in this and my puffy jacket. I'm fine. Whoa. Yeah. 7 o'clock. Still holding up, but maybe all day I think. But I'm not in a rush to get out. That way. Here's little trails. So I mean we had slug visits. Yeah. Very hardy slugs against this wind. And it's just after 8 and the wind has mercifully dropped. It's not raining. We've even had sunshine. I know. The only annoying thing is this started to deflate. My pillow started to deflate. It's not the end of the world. Otherwise, yeah, it was okay. I was plenty warm enough, but almost maybe a little bit too warm. It's going to be fun walking today in this wind and that rain. Scenery. This is where I camped. Super scenery. Yeah, sunshine. Good. It didn't flap a lot. This is a lot better than it was. It was very, very. Ugh. In the sunshine, it's not too bad. Yeah, glad I survived the night. I thought the tent would be fine. There was a few times I was like, what am I doing? That's Bellstone down there. You can see I put the bigger Alpkit pegs on the windward side. I replaced the Naturehike pegs with more butcher ones. That's a different story up here, yeah. A rainbow. Or even that little rain score. I hope that's a good omen. Rainbow. I forgot to bring a peg, so I improvised. Of course, the weather came in just as I was taking the tent down, which means I've got a bit of a drenched tent, which is really annoying. I was lulled into a sort of a false sense of security because it's like sunny and it's like, oh, it's only spotting rain. I really should have took the tent down there and had breakfast. You can probably understand I was really liking the shelter from this wind. As soon as you go into this wind, it's like, oh my goodness. I'm now reconsidering my life choices, as you do. Let's see about that river crossing. I need some water anyway. We have the rain pants on, the frog togs. So much Gore-Tex. Just to make sure I don't break my ankle. That was the aim of last night, was to not call out the emergency services. Hiking YouTuber goes to Dartmoor and screws it up. I can see the headlines now. Ridiculous. Especially as I'm walking into the wind. They say keep to the past, but you see what happens on the tours. The past disappears and then it continues. Scenery, although very wet. Yeah, I had a fun scramble across all those rocks to find it again. Oh, this is ridiculous. I'm hoping it's not going to be all day like this. This is Bellstone Tor. I'm not going as far as Hound Tor. I'll probably see it that way. But that's right, left. Yeah, sounds good enough. Tim doesn't know he's left from right. But yeah, we're going to hang a left. Maybe that's a good place to hide. Maybe a bit thin. Oh, those places.
I bet this is the full force of the wind. This is so strong, it's silence. Yes, good though.
Actually, maybe I could have hidden behind there. This is actually a bigger wall. Hello, sheeps. Sheepses. 1,000-yard stare. Yeah, I think I found the path. That was a nightmare. I didn't believe it was by the wall. My GPS was leading astray. And my feet are wet. The Sauconys have failed almost immediately. They got waterlogged. But we are prepared for that, for the crossing of this. I'm half tempted to just put my tent up and just sit there. The wet weather is why I brought the sit mat, because even though you've got natural benches like this and rocks to sit on, I knew they'd be wet. Just showing how random it is. Sunshine. Yeah, you know I was saying these were good socks? Yeah, already a hole in the mountain warehouse socks. Not impressed. Not shown these before. These are the Deck Shell waterproof socks. They go up to the knee. And hopefully they will save me on a board crossing, but also I think this is the way to go in future, is waterproof socks and then fast drying non-Gore-Tex, because Gore-Tex doesn't work properly. This might be a hot take, but some of you might disagree with this, but I think Gore-Tex is a scout. But the problem with Gore-Tex is the fact that once they're wet, they keep the wet in. I've just been squeezing it out the insoles. To be honest, I'd much rather have fast drying shoes that get wet and then dry really quickly than Gore-Tex now, because it's just, Gore-Tex just doesn't work properly. You can see something looks like a... Yeah. Scenery, it's worth it for the scenery, I think. Especially tonight when I'm in a wet tent. I can see, yeah, there's definitely a path. It's so hard to see the paths. The paths are not marked. That does look a bit like a deep river though. We shall see. I'm hoping stepping stones or something, please. Pretty sure it's this ford, and you can see the bottom there in the middle. Looks like it's possible. What I'm worried about is falling over. It looks like it's PT. I'm having nightmares about that. You call it PTSD. Anyway, it's look pretty clear though obviously, yeah, we've got cow crap in it. Hopefully the filter will filter it all out. Right, forward. This is the first time we've done that. It's the first time I've done a river crossing. Let's see how deep this is. It's going to be cold, isn't it? Very slurry. That in the middle of the river. But hey, made it. Where'd it now go? Well, not the moment of no return. You can always fall back again. Casual people, everyone is it would have wade over that. That was fairly deep and then sort of ankle deep. It was a little bit higher. It's raining again. I'm calling this one Cows in Rain. Yeah, another horrible squall. Just as I'm about to do a stream crossing, right. The ford is very wide, but I found it's not actually that deep. but I'm going to try and jump it. That would be a good place to camp there. Lovely place. They're always when I'm facing into the wind. It's like, really, can you just not have a downpour? I don't mind a downpour when it's behind me onto the side, but it seems to be all the downpours today I've been facing into them. I just love how they're like, keep to the footpaths, but we're not going to tell you where the footpaths are. The cow scenery on the tour was so bad. When I turned around, I could actually feel the wind was pushing me around us. That's how strong it was. I was like, first rainstorm, it's not in my face. Yay! Why is it a T-stone? Another T-stone. I don't know where 2 T-stones. 2 for T and T for 2. The boundary's near here actually. Lonely landscape. Racing. Something. It's now nice and sunny. No, it just did a deluge while I was doing my sandwich. I had some tea. I do like the speed of that. Something I would never do with an alcohol stove. Good lunch location. Just sheltered behind Hound. So yeah, cheers. Good scenery for tea. Especially when it's sunny like this. It's lovely and sunny. There is a massive amount of wind. It's really nice. It's just a shame that even with this yellow alert now, no one told Dartmoor that the rainstorms were over. Had the weather at the wrong time. Every single time. Like when I got up, oh, it was lovely weather. I should have shut the tent down then, but then it started to really chuck it down. So I then rushed out the tent. I then get off Bellstone Tor. The weather brightens up, and I can see the sunshine on Bellstone Tor. And it's the same when I stopped here for lunch. It chucked it down. It was lovely. And then as soon as I sat down, got my roll out and stuff, and then as soon as that had got completely drenched, it then went sun again. I was like, what? Having now chilled out on Hound Tor and having some food, and it's been not so horrible for a bit. I can see the point of this. I can see the point of camping on tours and walking Dartmoor. But I do think I made it hard for myself for this day. I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Dartmoor is a law to itself, and with weather, obviously. So where I want to be is over there. That is Little Hound Tor. It seems to be endlessly on the cloud. The strangeness of Dartmoor's weather system. Lovely. All I've got to say about this weather is me. I was on Hound Tor thinking, oh, this is lovely. As soon as I leave, rain started. You'll never guess. I wish I'd be able to show you in a nicer way. There are a lot of stone circles around here. Stone circle at Little Hound Tor. Well, that's Little Hound Tor. I was going to go up to Little Hound Tor. I probably won't because of this weather. I was going to go and have a look at the big stone. See what I mean about timing? Get to the stone circle. Absolute deluge. Completely drenched. Looking at the solo stone here. maybe a processional to the stone circle. This is a T-stone. There's a T-stone. Oh wow, nice moss. And then the sun comes out, you know. You haven't seen these for a while. Yep. I'm wearing the neoprene gloves. I wore these on the first collab, and I haven't really used them that many times. They're not waterproof, but they keep your hands warm. It's high ground, high ground, high ground, high ground, high ground. Yeah. This path is very boggy. This is lovely. But I'm feeling more confident because I've got wearing the waterproof socks. And this is a good test because I want to use these on the Scotland trip, which I'm planning, which is kind of revisit the bit I didn't do. Spoilers. Oh my goodness. We're not actually crossing a stream. This is just, I'm going to have to go upstream. This is the kind of gear I got for Scotland. But I didn't actually do that trip this year, and it's probably too late to do it. So probably next year. That's probably alright, because it's grey. Yep, you see that shingle. So this one, it looks fine. And yep, there we are. You sink into it. When it's not pissing it down, it's beautiful. I can't remember the guy's name. I'll put it on screen. About something I've already been talking about for ages, which is comfort beats your ultralight every day. And ultralight is a bit of a marketing tool to make you buy gear you don't need. The worst one is ultralight backpacks. You don't need an ultralight backpack. What you need is a comfortable backpack that maybe is not the heaviest. It's a heavy backpack, but it's really comfortable. That's fine. Just looking ahead, the path looks like a river. Great. You know, you don't need the biggest backpack, but you know, so you have to be aware of it. But you don't need the biggest or the lightest unless you are doing very specialised stuff. It is actually a stream. No, I think it's just boggy here. Wow. You can see where people have gone over. This is the path. Path is completely underwater. Lovely. But yeah, the idea that you have to go ultralight, you know, it's like, no. A lot of times people chase the ultralight thing and it makes them miserable. You've just got to think about whether it's comfortable, whether it's good for you, whether it's something that you would use. If it's something you don't use and you take it, then don't take it next time. Far too many times I've not taken things and thought, do I really need that? And then it's just been like miserable. The important thing is you enjoy it. Ugh. Yeah, it was nice. More rainbows though, but also more rain. Stone circle, stone circle, stone circle. And then guess stone circle number 3. I'm sure you probably shouldn't use a stone circle as a bench, but I need a rest. I find it interesting is perhaps this way. Holes. Those aren't natural. These 3 seems to be. I noticed quite a lot of stones like that actually on the way here, and I wasn't sure if they were natural or not, but they seem to be placed along the paths and part of it. They're just everywhere. And I've been wondering, what was the fascination? Was it that stone circles were common everywhere and they just survived because they're on Dartmoor? Is a magic or special place here because the tours and the way things are here? It's a very bleak place to be, but a lot of the places with stone circles are quite bleak. I'm not sure. I don't know enough. John was fascinated with. I turned him on to Newgrange, and he never knew about Newgrange, and then he became a complete Neolithic freak. Iron Age and Neolithic, mostly Neolithics. Yeah. It's looking grumpy again. Just as I was praising this place for being different, not scaring me off with rain. Yeah. Dartmoor knows nothing of your yellow alerts. You know the way? You have to cross a ford to get to the bridge. Hopefully I won't slip off this. And this, which goes up to the stone circle, is the Mary Michael Pilgrim's Way. I've intersected bits of it. I walked a bit of it as to Bellstone. It mostly skirts down the side of Dartmoor. That wood is very tempting. The wall says to me, no. Because Chagford, one of my end destinations, is only 2.8 miles. It's an ancient settlement here. I chose to come through here so I could see this ancient settlement. And hut circles, sometimes wheelhouses, which is, I don't know if this is a wheelhouse, but I know in Scotland they had wheelhouses where the sun, I assume in the east, then people would move around where the sun hit, and it'd move around according to the year, and then relatives would be buried, remains are found buried at the door where the light never hits. That's why you have to be careful about what looks to be dry peat. What is it today with me going to ancient sites and the weather gets getting really dreadful? As soon as I hit an ancient site, stone circle, hut circles, ancient settlement, it does this. I really don't want to camp in the wood. Let's avoid it. Defense of the wood is where the camping zone ends. The wind is coming from this way. There's a very large windscreen, because I should be able to camp right next to it. If I can be in that valley there, over there, with the wood, there's a windbreak. I think that's probably the best place. And there's a Dartmoor ponies. Unless the wind is faking me, and my idea worked, that is acting as a massive windscreen, and that we could camp somewhere like here. Unless they come and eat me. Yeah, I don't think they'll bother me. I just ignore people. The horses are still there despite my shouting. Yeah, I did outer to inner first, which is really tricky. And then the rain stopped. It's now still started again, but I may as well have waited. I'm just so over this weather. I'm drenched, I'm cold. I just want to get inside. But everything is wet. I got into the tent just in time. Everything in the rucksack got wet. Now, I expect that. So everything is in little bags, but unfortunately, Thermarest wasn't. It was in its bag, and that got drenched. It's a shame there is no forest, as far as I can tell. You know, they say Dartmoor Forest. Where's the forest? On the map, it doesn't seem to be there either. There's no green spaces. So where is this Dartmoor Forest? The Dartmoor ponies shouldn't smoke so much, because cough, 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 cough. It's like they're smoking 60 a day. When I pulled out John's map, he'd written 173 on it. And I was like, is that the bus number? And it is. And the bus I'm taking tomorrow is a 173. So thanks, John. What I'm a bit confused about is that he had maps for places, but I don't know if he went. I'm not sure if he came here. Sunshine. Not sure how long. Yeah, the tent is wet. I've already put on my old socks in, but yeah, only on a few dryish things. So yeah, I would usually hope the weather would be better to me, but yeah. 7 o'clock. That's the Fernworthy forest. My nemesis. Slugs. I thought there'd be slugs going this. It's so wet. That's better. Watch it rain in about 5 minutes though. It was colder here. I was cold. It's kind of partly it being a valley. It's sheltered from the wind. Warmer, paradoxically, on top of a tor. There's apparently a stone row in Fernworthy forest. And then I'm just going to pad for Chagford. See some of these dark clouds. It might not be lovely in 10 minutes. On cue. It's now raining. I just want to be dry and at home. I'm just done with this, really. It lulls you into this sense of like, oh, maybe it's going to... No. Yeah, the wind has risen and shifted. Let's get this tent down as soon as possible. That was fun, as usual.
Wind picked up, so I was taking that down, and then of course drops, and it's all lovely and sunny. So I was like panicking, thinking, "Oh no, not more rain!" And then nothing. And I'm officially done with Dartmoor. I'm just officially done with it. You can hear the wind in the trees. I mean, it's a nice place. It's obviously for people who afford normal accommodation, or just go for a day, or for a couple of days with your own escape route in your own car. It is fairly essential, I would say, for Dartmoor. If you have to book a couple of weeks in advance, and then you get here and find the weather is dreadful, it might make for good video content, but it's not exactly the happiest thing. I'm glad I came here to make sure the weather's good. The only way to do that is by paying double the fees and double the coach fee. It's a bit more difficult to do on a budget. I mean, you can, if you're into your whole survivalist thing. Dartmoor's great. Wow. I mean, it is kind of magical. But it's magical when you're dry. I'm glad I've done it, but when I do it again, I don't know. But maybe some of you could suggest places in Dartmoor where I can be more sheltered, because is there forests in Dartmoor you can actually camp in legally? I couldn't find any in the map, so let me know in the comments if there's any places I could go that are sheltered. Very much Scotland vibes. If you've not seen the Great Glen bits, I'm editing at the moment actually, but you'll see a lot of these in the later days of the Great Glen Way. Lots of trees. You will get sick of them. Very old walls, but you're given the trees growing from them are not the same as these trees. Suggests that the old walls are quite old, and very older than the forest, I assume. Yeah, and of course, like all these places, foggy, with slacking weather. Every time I've come up one of these, it's chucked it down. Let me guess, as soon as I step into that circle, like a bit like fairies appearing, I can guarantee you it's going to rain. This is Fernworthy Stone Circle. Walking into a stone circle and not chucking it down. Wow. First time for this whole trip. I'm sure it'll probably rain in a second. Probably. Because, yeah, I wanted to do a proper, walk around and talk. No. None of these have been able to do that. There's another stone up here. Ain't that a magical wood? At least mossy pine woods. Can be midge factories, true. Especially when it's wetlands. But, wow. People have had fires here as well, so it's a bit naughty. Before they planted the forest, this would have looked like the other stone circles. Wow, that's a tree fall. Okay, I need to get through this. After going through all I've gone through. Wow. The fact that London has left this, just as we don't want people coming through here, even though it is got a gated path. Public bridleway. Not at the moment. I don't mean to herd you this way. Hopefully I'm not herding these to Chagford. And there we have the reservoir. I don't know if I have a better view of it. It's like a nice place to come for a picnic. If I was sceptical, I'd say it was intentional. The style, and then immediately goes into a fallen tree. I mean, clearings like that, it's really annoying that I love camping. Yeah, the weather has been mocking me, and it's just been like, course it had to rain on me one last time.
Scenery. Thank you for taking more care. Nice pun there. Zone ends, yes. That's as good a time as any. Now we're leaving Dartmoor to say I hope you enjoyed this. It's been interesting, especially the weather. If you did, please like this video and subscribe for more of my trips. So I'll speak to you soon. We travelled a distance of 16.5 miles, an upward elevation of 1,834 feet and a downward elevation of 2,032 feet. If you like this video and subscribe, it will really help the channel, and see if I go back to Dartmoor, and let me know in the comments if there's any more sheltered places. A question for everybody is, have you had an extreme hike like that with extreme weather or extreme camp? Let me know in the comments. On the screen now, because it reminded me of the place has to be the Peak District collabs, well, both of them. I hope you're well, look after yourself, and as I said before, I'll speak to you soon.